Game of the year.
Game of the year is Baldur's Gate 1! Yeah! Yes! Let's go! Other than making some pretty popular memes, I got a lot of upvotes, making Boo's HP as high as I can, and making some pretty sus content in RPG Maker. We recently just moved into a new house with all the complications with that. I've been just streaming Dead by Daylight over the past few weeks, but now I'm ready to finally get back into Baldur's Gate 3 since we're all settled in now. I'm sorry it took a while to make the next episode in the Pacifist series since it's been over a month and quite a lot of you guys really like that, and honestly, I thought it was a really fun challenge. It felt really good that there is an active community between you guys trying to really help me out in the comments about how to complete this challenge as easily as possible, and I got a lot of pretty good insight from you guys. Now, let's see if it is possible to beat Baldur's Gate 3 as the Dark Urge, as well as a Pacifist. We then begin by plugging ourselves up with some tadpoles. Shadowheart shares a little bit of details about a fair of wolves. We stack boxes to steal some loot. And, well, we try to shoot this down, but I can't be the only one that struggles to shoot the Moonstone over and over again. We then proceed to navigate our ways through the Underdark, since we missed the Underdark within the first video. We meet with the Myconoids and talk a little bit with the Mind Flayer in the Society of Brilliance. They tell us that they can assist us with our Mind Flayer parasite problem, and we help out the locals, especially the one who is sick and injured. We do not condone violence, so we kind of tell Sovereign Glut to fuck off. And I'm going to come back to save this guy later. I don't know why I didn't do it right now. I wanted to test out if you can still use this spore thing on a knocked out creature, and it does not work. And here is where I struggle to take out the Duergars, or at least knock them out, or sneak past them for quite some time, actually. I spent the better part of a couple hours on this, actually, because I accidentally kept on killing people. Glut turns against you and attacks you, and you have to kill him, as well as he sometimes lethally kills something, as well as any of the zombies might accidentally kill something. I might accidentally kill something. I used a couple spells, and I accidentally killed people, pushed them off the cliff. And even I got shoved off the cliff at one point, right here. So it just was not a good time. And eventually I just said, fuck it, I don't want to be here anymore. And I just left the Underdark, planning on just skipping the Grimforge section, but, well, if it wouldn't be a challenge if I didn't at least try. So here's a couple more attempts that you're about to watch, but I just keep fucking up over and over again. I don't know why this was so difficult for me to understand, but I eventually we're gonna do a little bit of a time skip. The footage that you saw was on patch 3, and now we're on patch 5, about a month and a half later. And since we were on patch 5, right after the Game Awards, I used the merchant glitch to steal all of the merchant's goodies from Act 1, including the 2 merchants inside of the Githyanki Creche. Now, I definitely love this glitch since it's really hard to get gold when you're sparing everybody and not really looting. So I abused this a little bit before it got patched a day later. And in the eyes of the greedy, I teleported to the Goblin Camp expecting to steal the trader's loot there, but I accidentally walked into an ambush. Uh-oh, I did not mean to teleport into here. I go back to the Blighted Village and interact with the Magic Mirror, which I think is the most bullshit encounter in the entire game, excluding Ethel's camp. We all knew that this part was coming. We had to kill Alfira somehow. And, well, I came up with this. Shit. I'm gonna quick save. I have a batshit insane idea that I think would actually work. So the reason, if I go here, I trigger Alfira's death by Dark Urge's hands. What if the Dark Urge isn't there? What if the Dark Urge isn't there? What if the Dark Urge isn't there? You know? Isn't that a weird thing? Wait! Oh no! No cutscene though. No cutscene though. Oh my god, no cutscene. She's dead. I don't know if it was me, right? Her body's here. There's no cutscene. Did the characters even know what happened? I count that as a win because we are not sure if I actually killed her. So we head to the Rosemorn Monastery. Bazel tells us about the nearby creche. We do the merchant glitch on Esther, and we begin our descent because if we head through the normal path, we fight a bear, and fighting things is against our code. You used to be able to save this gnome if you were to interrupt the cutscene by attacking the Githyanki, but you can't for some reason in this recent patch. We sneak around the top side so we can avoid killing the kobolds, and we run into the Mishkas instead, which we just absolutely slaughter. Since we only had spell slots for Divine Smite and no spellcasters, they were totally effective against us. And I always seem to heal minimum with healing abilities. Nice. We avoid doing the Lathander puzzle because doing so we have to kill a hawk, and obviously we can't do that as a pacifist. So we skip that and head to the Githyanki Creche for now. And while trying to make peace with the Githyanki, try to spare a life. Oh, that one. You don't win them all. I do the merchant glitch one last time. I then spend literally 2 hours respecking everybody in my party to be as min-max as possible, especially since I just took a bunch of items from all the merchants that we've used the glitch on. All of our builds are in absolute tip-top shape. I kind of find it a bit ironic that my pacifist characters are arguably the most dangerous characters I've ever made. We meet with the Githyanki doctor, who is very questionable in their morals. Lae'zel then convinces us that yes, killing herself is the way to go when trying to purify herself in the Pacifist, which, well, we get a nat 20 convincing her on the first try, which then she immediately leaves and the thing blows up. Like, seriously, how has Lae'zel never witnessed somebody being cleansed from a Zathix before? She probably would have known that a Zathix just straight up kills you. Before the doctor can alert any guards of our presence to attack us, we actually just straight up knock her out, which, surprisingly, this works. We steal the 3 tadpoles off her desk and all pump them into the light urge. Knocking out the doctor here actually prevents most of the Githyankis from attacking us. Although talking with this Githyanki never really goes well for me, but I just recently found out that you can actually just pickpocket the key off of her and we can continue on. Funny enough, if you try handing over the artifact to her, she actually just gives you the key for free. We then speak with the Chirai, as well as we have quite the lengthy conversation with Vlaakith. Now there's a couple fun facts about this interaction, because this can actually go about 7 different ways. You can have Vlaakith just kill you, you can actually just ascend, you can actually just go out and meet out your end, the Emperor can just straight up just kill you, and you can actually be betrayed by her and her goons, which, well, most people actually figure out. I really like this cutscene, and I think it's really great. It shows a lot of Vlaakith's power, shows a lot of Lae'zel's character, especially coming this early in the story. I'm surprised that this is not in later acts. It's just very impressive. The cutscenes are good. I love this sequence, and I would play it over and over again if I could. We head inside of the Astral Sea, which is honestly one of the coolest looking places in this entire game, especially the dead god over there. And this interaction with the Emperor is amazing as well. You get to really speak with him, you get to know a lot about the Emperor's motives and what they're hiding, as well as it foreshadows very heavily with future events in Act 3. And this little chest bonding sequence is amazing. Have I told you how much I appreciate this section of the game already? This was a great closure of Act 1. After having min-maxed the fuck out of our characters, we absolutely fucking decimate the Githyanki that stab us in the back. I mean, I'm not even sure we took any damage, because we just knocked them out even before they even had a chance to attack us. Stunning Strike, Maneuvers, fucking Sneak Attack, Divine Smite. We have our kill squad right here, and we don't need anybody else. Although there is one thing that we need hanging up on our wall, and that is the Blood of Lathander. Arguably one of the best weapons for clerics in the game because of the Sunbeam spell, which we will not be using a single time. I almost argued not even bothering with the Blood of Lathander because I'm not even going to be using its most powerful ability, because it has the chance of killing somebody. But we gather it anyway because it is still a +3 weapon that has a bunch of other unique effects. We specifically make sure that the Lance of Lathander does not activate so that it does not kill the Githyanki, as well as doing it the peaceful way and actually solving the puzzle correctly actually does kill a construct and some eagles, which we cannot allow in the pacifist run. Fun fact about letting the Lance of Lathander activate is that if any of your companions die to it, they actually have quite a few unique interactions with you. And I also think it would be a great time to tell you that if you are liking this video, please hit the subscribe button, set the bell notification, and of course, like. video, because it helps me out a lot, especially since, well, these do take a lot of time, and I could only put in so much time before I have to do other things. So you sparing your time to watch this video really means a lot to me, and I have to thank everybody who has ever watched any of my videos, anybody who has ever hit my subscribe button, and anybody who has ever liked and left a comment on my videos, because you are truly amazing, and you are the real heroes of the Sword Coast. If this series does well enough, I'll do more challenge playthroughs in the future. We then teleport outside of the Githyanki Creche to avoid more combat, and we face off against the undead ghouls that block our gate. Now, somebody in the comments told me that constructs and undead should not count as killing something because, well, they didn't live in the first place. Can't kill something that's not alive. Meet Elminster at the gate, which he tells us that Gale should just suicide bomb the Absolute with the Netherese Orb, which we decline. Everybody in our party gives us a little bit of insight on themselves, as well as a little bit of insight on Gale, trying to tell us that Gale is so cool and our party is cool and that we shouldn't just surrender to the Absolute or anybody. Our party is growing and they are learning the ways of the Pacifist. I am proud of them all. But all of that will have to wait once Kithrak Vosh shows up in the middle of the night. Kithrak Vosh just tells us that he actually betrayed Vlakov a long time ago and wants to aid us. He surrenders the moment we get here, and Lae'zel responds with a beheading, which we tell her not to. We make a promise with Kithrak Vosh, and we tell him that we will meet him inside Baldur's Gate, so we can take down Vlakov and free the Githyanki. Lae'zel is coming to terms with her patronage to Vlakith and questions her morality. But on a great side note, Scratch comes up to us and he wants to play. Oh my god, man. Oh, this is amazing. Of course the devs had to add this. Check this out. Truly amazing, isn't it? We do a little bit of backtracking because we haven't completely finished Act 1 yet. We stop by the Zhentarim hideout, which they greet us with open arms, but once I find out that they're actually torturing and killing people, I meet them with the blunt end of my quarterstaff. I indulge in thine urges, and I treat them to the blunt end of death. I actually just went full blast ass on these guys, not even giving them a chance. But I reloaded the save and of course spared them, but I had my fun killing these guys. Trust me. After I reload the save and take these guys out the correct way, I free the Painter, which he tells us to meet us in Baldur's Gate. We decide to visit the Underdark one more time. And just listening to my voracious clicking, you can tell me that I was done with this guy's bullshit. Astarion sneaks around all of the Duergars, and we head into the Grim Forge. Once Astarion sneaks inside of the Grim Forge and we teleport everybody in, we come across a very weird and interesting glitch. If we interact with the shipmaster, with somebody who wasn't technically inside of the cutscene, a bug plays and the whole cutscene just plays over again. I don't know why it does this, and it makes him disappear as well, which is really funny. What the? Oh, huh? Oh, what the fuck is going on? Huh? We do our best to spare the spiders as well to prevent even more death, but don't do this game. It's a fucking coin flip! Eventually, once we roll a coin flip, the spiders are saved. We then hit another level up from that. And I don't know why, but it says +0 on saving throws. I don't know why I said this. If you actually speak with this guy before you do anything else inside the Grim Forge or the Duergars, we can actually stage a mutiny and attack near on sight, which saves a lot of lives doing it this way. But sadly, we cannot save this gnome's life. Within the joining mutiny, we can actually save a ton of the Duergars, and we can also save the gnomes, at the expense of whoever the Duergars on our side kill, which we make sure we do the finishing blows with everybody so that we have the least casualties. Although we do at least have one, which luckily it came from the ally side, so it technically wasn't my side's fault that we killed anybody. I tried to save this guy's life inside of the lava, but he eventually succumbs to his wounds later in the fight, sadly. The gnomes tell us that we did a good old job when we freed them and the Duergars. We take out some mimics and steal some loot from them, and we convince the Rathe to free up the path so we can go further inside of the Grim Forge. Don't worry, we took out these guys non-lethally. After walking around the Grimforge for a little bit, I decided to have Lae'zel go on a little side quest to try to find Paimon to see if she still is there after the gnomes are set free, which, surprisingly, she isn't. I don't know where she went, I hope she didn't die, but we will never find out because I never went back. Again, we decided that killing undead and constructs does not void the challenge because, well, they technically aren't alive, and I have a little bit of fun with it. I got to enjoy even using a couple spells I will never use. I then have quite the narrowing escape with the level elemental, because I definitely don't want to fight this fucking thing. Check out this James Bond stealth mission right here through the fire. And I definitely wasn't going to miss the Sentient Cursed Amulet, because it's one of the only few monk magic items in the game. We also tell the Force Ghosts inside of the amulet that we will meet them and set their soul to rest in Baldur's Gate. We activate the Adamantine Forge, and we summon Grim, the giant golem that protects the Adamantine Forge, which we don't actually cheese with Albert for the top rope as much as I would have liked to. Instead, I beat it the good old-fashioned way by using the giant fucking hammer. And sadly, a couple of the fire methods do actually die, but that was mostly from Grim's Glam Slam attack. And Shadowheart gets left behind because you don't have the platform. Usually this fight is very frustrating and a lot harder, but we took out some of the fire methods earlier inside of the Grim fight. And when the fight was over, Asterion just walked inside of the lava for some reason. We then make 2 mithril plate armors, because finding heavy armor is very difficult. And we use the elevator to take our way over to Act 2, because I wish to use the Underdark entrance instead, because I don't actually go through the Underdark that much to enter the Shadowlands. And this proves that yes, you can actually beat Act 1 of Baldur's Gate 3 as a Dark Urge without killing anybody, including Alfira. Asterion shares a little bit more about his past as well as him being a vampire spawn. And here is the confirmation message that you've all been waiting for. One of the Dark Urge events is, of course, meeting Scalaritas Fel, which he tells us that he was the one who killed Alfira. We did not. He scolds us for not indulging in our Dark Urge, and we head on our way. I cannot believe that devs would have thought of that, because that's a crazy thing to even think that would have happened. But here we are. And, as always, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification if you want more challenge run videos like this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy. See y'all in the next episode. Thank you.